Good evening, SEC Nation, and welcome to the 39th edition of SEC Live on SEC at the Voice of College Football from yours truly, Jackson Johnson, and a friend of the Voice of College Football Network and co-host of Ohio State Primetime Live on Ohio State at the Voice of College Football. Garrison Gaddy joins me to discuss whether the SEC 9-game schedule possibly ends the Alabama-Ohio State series, or is it something else? Let me tell you something, folks. You're going to be in for a wild ride and a good time for a long time all right here on SEC at the Voice of College Football, where you can check it out on YouTube, on X/Twitter, Spotify, Amazon, Apple Podcast, and iHeartRadio. How you doing today, good buddy?
I'm good, man. Been a long day, just like you doing the show, and then now we're here. So I'm really excited to talk about this. I actually talked about this last week, and so I haven't had a chance to talk about it with an Alabama fan or an SEC guy. So excited here to talk about it with you, Jackson.
Oh, same here.
It's my first time on VOCFB SEC, so I'm excited about that too.
Oh yeah, man. Just kind of keep it busy, just staying and rocking and rolling, and getting things rolling for sure. And one of the things I keep really thinking about, because Alabama had 3 non-con games set up for 2028, right?
Yes.
Now they got Georgia State set up as the season opener. And I'm really crossing my fingers that the Ohio State games they'll keep on, but I wish Alabama could get rid of Tennessee Martin, but I know that's not going to happen.
Yeah.
So I'm thinking it's one or two things, and something is coming. It's either going to be the Buckeyes game that's going away or the Oklahoma State game that's going away. Because we got Cowboy Morty talking about Bama dodging Oklahoma State. But oh man, Cowboy Morty is funny. But I will say though, it's got me really thinking about what's gonna happen for the future series, because I want to see Alabama Ohio State be able to play one another.
Right.
That's cool, because it's a shame that they've only played one another a few times, in the 2021 Natty, the 2015 Sugar Bowl, and the 78 Sugar Bowl. The only time Woody Hayes and Bear Bryant went against one another. Man, but
who won?
Yeah, it was like.
Wait, who won that game?
Crimson Tide.
The Crimson Tide.
Yeah. But I will say, because it's a shame there's not been more games in this series. It is when this game was scheduled, this wasn't when, the 9-game schedule was happening. It was still happening for the Big Ten, of course. But the SEC was still having 8 conference games. Nick Saban was still head coach at that time.
Right.
But, the moment in August of 2025 when the SEC said, we're going to 9 conference games. Because a lot of people are kind of the SEC should. SEC's okay, we'll go 9 conference games because now we've got 16 teams and all that. And there's been some cutbacks. Alabama, unfortunately, cut back on the West Virginia home and home series. Pretty sad about that, but I was just kind of at the same time, if it meant West Virginia was able to go back to play Pittsburgh on a mere annual basis, so be it.
Right.
And, for me personally, if I have to choose between Ohio State and Oklahoma State, I'd want Alabama to cut the Oklahoma State series or at least move it back. Not that I don't want Alabama to play at Oklahoma State, but I'm looking at the non-conference schedule openings for 2028 and 2029, particularly for Oklahoma, because they've got one non-conference opening for 2029. Oklahoma does. They've got San Diego State and Nebraska. Crossing my fingers to where if Alabama does cancel that home and home with Oklahoma State, that Oklahoma State will have to play Oklahoma at that time. And maybe Oklahoma will want to move that Houston game of 2028 back to 2031 or something.
Mhm.
But honestly, with everybody kind of being at 9 games, I worry that big games like Alabama, Ohio State are getting cut out.
Yeah, so I have a different view on this.
Okay.
And I think what's happening is, um, specifically for the SEC right now, um, Nick Saban joked around, talked about, all the money that's up in the only way you're gonna get someone to leave the South is to go up north is some money, right? Well, it's in jest, but there's a little bit of truth to it. Whereas the Big Ten has more money than the SEC. The
Yeah.
Big Ten has had a huge revival on the national stage over the last 3 years now, and winning 3 straight championships. And I think, and then of course we see the Big Ten, especially Ohio State. I read an article today about the Ohio State brass from Ryan Day to Ross Bjork, basically banging the hammer for the college football expansion, 20 teams to 24 teams. And I think for the Big Ten, they feel that way because teams they felt, I felt the same way, that teams like USC and Iowa were dealt a bad hand, where teams like in the SEC were given the benefit of the doubt. And now, with the way that it looks college football is going, not just in the Big Ten but all across the country, and the SEC has been basically pressured into going to 9 games, right, Jackson?
Right.
And now you see, Texas, after they beat Texas A&M, they went out and rightfully so, they lobbied to have their team in there. Sarkisian did, talking about, we play Ohio State tougher than everyone else did that year, and why be punished for barely losing that game and playing well in that game. And then it was funny because when Paul Feinbaum talked about it last week or 2 weeks ago now,
Right.
it clicked in me, and I said, wait a second, I know I heard this before. And I went back and found an article at the end of December of 2025, because I remember Mark Ingram talk about rumors being that Alabama didn't want to play that game anymore, that Alabama was going to cancel it because they feel, and I think that a lot of the SEC upper brass, or like from the top down, they're thinking to themselves, and I think wrongfully so, hey, we play an SEC schedule, we play the toughest thing. Ohio State's probably about to play the toughest schedule, if not a top 3 toughest schedule in college football this season. We're not complaining about the fact that we have to play Indiana, Oregon, Michigan, Illinois, at Iowa. Oh, and we just happen to have to play Texas. Any given year you can have this schedule, and I think that if to back out of a game like this, and you are correct in the sense that the 9-game schedule for the SEC could ruin big games in the SEC, especially out of conference games. Even Oklahoma State, what I like to call the fake OSU, or they're like a team OSU. They have a new revival in a sense. They got North Texas old head coach. They're looking to make something pop there. So that could be a tough game the next season. But I think that's where that's stemming from, Jackson. I think it's a bad look for college football. I think it's a bad look for the SEC, but I think it's bad for college football if you take these games away.
Agreed.
Because eventually, let's be honest here, we're heading towards Super League teams or conferences, right?
Unfortunately, yes.
And maybe and when you do that, you're probably going to have some divisions. So I think you're going to have to go back to that again. Which if we're going to do that, I'm not going to mind it. Like, it is like this I talked about tonight. This sport is changing every year. I'd rather you make quick changes so that because I think if you make changes every single year, Jackson, then you're going down a bad path. But I don't know. I just think that the Big Ten, the SEC should definitely keep it. I think Alabama should keep these 2 games, especially the Ohio State game.
Well, and where Texas was talking about, about how if they hadn't lost Ohio State, they'd be in the playoffs. Me personally, I'm looking more at that Florida loss. Like,
that's the loss.
Lost a 4-8 team. You didn't lose to Tim Tebow reincarnated,
right? And that's the problem. It's not about the game. It's not about the big game you didn't win. It's about that trash team that you lost to.
It's terrible.
Jackson, it would be the equivalent of last season when Alabama fans were screaming from the mountaintop that they should be in the playoff, right? But then people forget you did lose to 3 unranked teams in one season, two before the Michigan game.
Mm-hmm.
So like you got to win those games. Now the big games do matter too, and I do give credit for teams that play big games and close, but you can't lose those bad teams.
No, I mean you can't do that. I mean, because like if you heard Jeffrey on the college show last week, because he was like, I don't want to be losing to anybody, but I'd much rather Alabama lose to Georgia than to like a South Carolina or Mississippi State, and then have a great game against like Georgia, LSU, and everybody else. Where I just want to beat the rivals, and it's like Georgia can you just gotta play tug of war with Georgia and make them think they won because they won the regular season matchup. Just let them think they won. All you gotta do is go 10-2, 11-1. You're good to go in the playoffs, basically in the SEC or Big Ten. And a point I've made, ever since we've been having 12-team playoffs, is the fact that you're in the playoffs if you go to the Big Ten title game or the SEC title game. And that's just like one thing I keep wondering about as well. Has the conference title era just died?
I don't want it to die. Now I'm more of an old school type of guy, old school Big Ten when we didn't have it, the seasons is how you ended. But also when you did that, I mean, there were times in the early 2000s, close to the 2010s, Jackson, we did have 3- and 4-way ties in the Big Ten.
Yeah.
For the championship. You can't have that. I'm never going to be a fan of that. And I think at the end of the day, we are now in a time where, like I've always said this, I'm never going to be I respect college football history. That don't mean I have to care about it.
Right.
I can give a damn unless you won unanimously through the old AP route. I can care. Like I don't even count Ohio State's share championships, so I count everything very evenly. But I think in today's game, you need to have the person that comes out on top. Even in college basketball, with having a 64-team playoff, and on top of that, they still managed to have a regular season champ and a conference tournament season champ.
Right.
You can keep conference championships in college football. You can do that. So, yeah, I do believe like you that there's a chance that we could be heading heading down that path. But I truly hope we don't, because I do think that conference championships do matter. Like I was a lot of people, Jackson, before we played Indiana, people were saying like, "Oh, Ohio State fans don't care about this. It's Indiana. They don't care about. They just want to win a championship." I'm like, no. I haven't seen Ohio State win a Big Ten championship since 2020.
Yeah,
I want to win the Big Ten, and most Big Ten teams feel that way. Even I've talked to Oregon fans; they feel that way. So yeah.
Well, and I think honestly, if we did go to 24 teams, and it's kind of like that seems a little much for me. I don't like 12 teams. And I know where it's like some people might say is, yeah, but your team wouldn't be in if it weren't for 12 teams. But here's the thing, though. I'm thinking about all of college football. I can't just think about my team. I got to think about all of college football, because it's like 8 teams, I think would have been good. I think 4 teams would have been like, 4 teams was fine.
Mm-hmm.
But, 16 teams, like I'm not too into the first round buys. And I don't like where, the national title is still like on a Monday night. I feel like the season should end on a Saturday night.
College football outside of Maction is to be played on Saturdays.
Yes. Because, and if the NFL's upset about it, Well, heck, you can have the Saturday playoff game
Mm-hmm.
and put it on Monday night. And you got Joe Buck and Troy Aikman getting excited about it. But don't like that? Well, hell, we'll give you another one.
Yeah.
We'll have Kevin Harlan call one of the Monday night playoff games. I mean, who doesn't want to hear Kevin Harlan call both games? I know I do. I mean,
No, there was definitely a lot of guys like during the playoff run. I'm like, I don't care to listen to you.
oh,
It's real quick. I want to ask you this.
okay.
Without knowing how the season goes
Okay.
in terms of the rest of the games, would you rather beat Auburn or beat a top, like a highly ranked Ohio State?
Well, for me, I'd much rather Alabama beat Auburn.
Okay. I want to hear your answer there.
Yeah,
So
because
even if I told you the Ohio State win would get you into the playoff, you would take that Auburn win?
I'll take the Auburn win because, like, I don't. Yeah, I mean, it's like I don't want Auburn, Tennessee beating Bama's butt.
Would you rather beat Tennessee or Ohio State?
Tennessee. I want to beat Tennessee. I want to have those little cigars after the game. You can't.
Would you rather beat Georgia or Ohio State? Well, you beat Georgia all the time. Never mind.
Well, I'll have the Ohio State win.
Yeah, I mean you're used to beating Georgia in your lifetime.
Yeah, I mean, Georgia can have this one. Be like,
so like, are you a fan of playing 9 games?
No, like
you're such an SEC guy. Why not?
Because I like the idea of having the really good non-con games. I don't like those two.
The Big T. Oh, you SEC guys got to get out of your own way. The Wolverines are about to play a 9-game schedule. Oh, there's an SEC team on the schedule for the Wolverines, and they're going to. No. They come. No, Oklahoma goes to Michigan, but we're going to over down in Austin. I mean, for the Alabama game, we played Georgia right after you guys.
Yeah.
And it's not, and it's like, I feel like what's getting lost in this, Bama gets a home game too. Like, that's why I'm so confused on why Alabama wants to get out of this if 9 games happen. Because I'll tell you what. I can almost give a pass for not wanting to play Ohio State, even though I think it's wrong that the two best programs in college football history don't see each other on the field.
Right. I mean, I want to.
That's the biggest problem.
Yeah. Yeah, because, like, honestly, it would be cool to see Alabama, Ohio State be able to play each other more often. It's like because it was like the moment the SEC was going to 9 games, I was like, okay, this is what I was afraid of. Like, if it were me personally in the athletic department, I would just say, okay, we're keeping this game, keeping that game. As for permanent rivals, I just want it to be Auburn and Tennessee in the SEC. You can pretty much play whoever else. Like, I really don't care if we don't see LSU every year. I don't care. I mean, surprise us. Like, just have Mississippi State as that third opponent annually because of historical purposes.
Jackson, I'm sure you already know this. Yeah, we've never played at each other's stadiums.
Right? It's insane that there's never been a home and home in Tuscaloosa and in Columbus. Like, I mean, it's like, it's like, and I know that, like, some people are kind of like, not too crazy about Big Noon kickoff, but it's like, me personally,
I hate Big Noon kickoff with a burning passion of 1,000 suns.
I actually thought it was pretty cool to see Bama on Big Noon kickoff. Like,
you guys were.
Yeah, we were.
Forgot about that.
2022 and 2024 on Big Noon kickoff. Like, I thought it was pretty cool to hear Gus Johnson call an Alabama game. Like, it's not every year. But I mean,
And honestly, and I can say this for myself because if we all know that when you guys play, if you guys still play us at our stadium, that's going to be a big noon game. We all understand that.
Yeah.
ESPN is going to do everything they can to make that Ohio State at Alabama game happen at night.
Oh yeah.
And that's why I listen, I'll tell you what. If you guys want to cancel the game in Columbus, go ahead. I just need Ohio State at night because I never see Ohio State at night. Not in big games.
Yeah, I mean, like yeah, I mean, like I was thinking like NBC's pretty good. I mean,
I love NBC. Oh, I mean, we have CBS. I'll take Ohio State and
Brad
Alabama.
Nessler. Yeah, I mean, like Brad
Yeah.
Nessler called Alabama Ohio State in the 2015 Sugar Bowl. Like, let's give him some joy again.
If I'll tell you this much. If Ohio State and Alabama still play, I would only want that game at 3:30 or at nighttime. I think it would be fun to see because they do Ohio State. I mean, the Big Ten. You guys still? Is the SEC still on CBS?
No, the SEC. Yeah, the SEC.
Yeah, it's over with.
CBS contract ended in 2023. It's been the Big Ten CBS since 2023.
Disney put a stranglehold on you guys.
Well, Disney's a bunch of assholes. But
I mean, in SEC on CBS just feels right. So I mean, I would love to see our. I mean, I really want to see Alabama and Ohio State play.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be awesome, like because it's like it's like I'm set, because it's like I'm crossing my fingers that the game stays on. But I tell you, like one game that's really bothered me. Well, you know this, like one game that's really bothered me about not being on anymore on an annual basis is Notre Dame USC. Like I mean, it's like, how do you not have that on rivalry week on the even number years? It's like, and I know it's like USC was like, well, we have to travel this. Like, well, here's the thing: that's not anybody else's fault. Like, you decided to leave the pack to join the Big Ten. That's not Notre Dame's fault. That's not the Big. Matter of fact, should have sucked it up and said, hey, in the odd number years where we got to go to Notre Dame, can you have us play Purdue either the week before or the week after, or have us play at Indiana the week before or the week after we play in Notre Dame? Not have a freaking home game against Michigan and then go to South Bend. Should have done something like that. Don't just wait till it boils over. Like you gotta think, which I don't think there's any thinking with Jen Cohen or Lincoln Riley, but I mean, that's no time for no day.
I am upset just in terms of a football fan. I love the sport more than I love my own program, and so to see that game end, it kind of sucks. I think Notre Dame, if Notre Dame kept all their rivals, like if they kept Michigan State, Michigan, and USC. And then every year, is it the ACC chooses 4 of their games?
5 of their ACC.
They choose the 5 games you get to play. I think that's equal to a conference schedule. But I think the problem for Notre Dame is that over the last 20 years, you have somewhat lagged behind because you want to be independent.
Yeah.
And that's why you lost Michigan State. And that's why you lost Michigan. And now you're in you're about to lose. You've lost USC. Though I think USC has blame to that. I mean, at least you kept are they still playing Navy?
They're still playing Navy, yeah.
Well, there you go. You kept a rivalry game, I guess.
Yeah. Because it doesn't feel right seeing Notre Dame Syracuse on rivalry week. It's just like it's just so. I mean, it doesn't really scream rivalry week to me.
No, who's Syracuse rival?
I would say Boston College. ACC's not doing it right. I know
they don't. That's a basketball conference.
they're not even doing that well in basketball. So it's like, good grief. Big 12 smacking their butts at it.
Yeah.
But yeah, like, where it's like everybody being at 9 games in college football, that makes me worry. Because it's like, I'm glad that Florida State's still on for now. I'm glad Georgia Tech, Kentucky, Louisville, and Clemson, South Carolina are on for now. But it destroys like any shot of Florida, Miami coming back on an annual basis at all. And we don't see Penn State, Pittsburgh coming back on an annual basis at all, or West Virginia, Virginia Tech, or Pittsburgh, West Virginia. What's happening with everybody and some of the like really old rivalries that went like Oklahoma, Nebraska, Oklahoma State. Who's really going to get excited about Oklahoma, Missouri on rivalry week? Nobody.
I missed the Oklahoma State game.
Yeah, it's insane.
Listen, I love the sport, man. So like these rivalries and these big games. I mean, I'll be honest with you. I mean, I have been a fan of the thought process of the Big Ten taking in Florida State or Clemson, and it don't sound right. It don't sound right.
It's not even about the geography that buds me.
What is it?
It's that Florida State would still play Florida, obviously.
Well, maybe they wouldn't. And that's my problem if it happened, Jackson. And it might not. Like if you're Clemson and you had to play a Big Ten schedule every year, are you trying to play South Carolina every season?
Probably not. So there's the problem there. And I mean, we know Georgia Clemson is not coming back on an annual basis with that. And, and I know like Florida State was able to play Florida and Miami on an annual basis from 1991 to 2003 in the years that Miami was in the Big East. But unfortunately, that was when everybody had different conference schedules, like a 7-game conference schedule and all that. Whereas, like, if you see Florida State going to the Big Ten, then that destroys the Florida State-Miami rivalry, unfortunately. And what I worry also, and I said this to Shane Statmiller on the West Virginia channel Thursday night, that one of the events to look out for is when Dick Vitale passed away. Because right now, ESPN's kind of smiling in his face, to his face, tell him how great he is and how much they love Duke, North Carolina. But do you really think ESPN cares that much about college basketball? No. College football is the moneymaker, and they know
a CBS product.
I mean, like, that's the thing, though, is like, I worry that game is going to get destroyed because of realignment. And I mean, if I were the SEC, and I know that wouldn't happen, but I would trade Missouri to the Big 12 for Oklahoma State, then get Florida State, Clemson, Miami, and Georgia Tech to come over. That way, everybody has all their rivalries. So it's like,
I want Missouri to be what they are, a Midwest state.
Yeah.
And join the Big Ten. That's just me. I'm going to tell you what, Jackson, I would not be opposed to the sport becoming regional again. Not like recruiting wise, just conference wise.
Yes.
I wouldn't be upset about that.
I'm sick of that whole, I mean, like the schools, like they may not say it publicly, but they have to be pissed off about how much money they're spending on, like, it's like you're not spending, like, forget hundreds, forget thousands. You're spending hundreds of thousands on travel alone.
Right.
That's got to be nuts. I mean, that's got to make people go, all right, we're bringing back the old days again. Because I mean,
and God forbid the Big Ten guy says this, but as a guy that has roots that come out of Conucca in Evergreen County, Alabama, Texas and Oklahoma ain't the South. I just, come on, man.
They're Southwest.
They're Southwest, man. They're Chipotle. It's Chipotle, not pork ribs. Like, I mean, they have good pork ribs in Texas, but you get my point. So it's just, yeah, I don't know.
But I mean, like, honestly, it would be cool to see the Southwest Conference and the Big Eight kind of come back.
I would love, hey, bring it all back, man. I would love for like a Big East where you had like the East Coast teams like Penn State. I mean, technically Penn State's technically more so in the Midwest, but I would prefer to be that way. You got Maryland, the Syracuses of the world. But we're far gone from that. We are old men in this new college football landscape, Jackson. So
we're old men in young men's bodies.
Yeah. So I kind of got to get, it's a sad thing, man, when you look back on the BCS era and you go, back in my day. But yeah, man.
Oh yeah, I mean it's just like, like, because I know, like, some of the big non-con games are going away, and it's like, if there's any more expansion, I'm already just like, okay, the big non-conference rivalries are going away, it seems like. And this is like a question I saw for the Voice College Football Eds account today, and it was talking about Oregon and Ohio State now taking an additional year off, won't play again until 2028. Is realignment killing rivalries, or are fans just dramatic? Well, I would say realignment is killing rivalries.
I only have one instance of when it didn't.
Ooh.
Realignment in the Big Ten forced the Illabuk Trophy to come back.
That's true.
But outside of that, it's killing the sport. It's killing rivalries. But so yeah, outside of that, man, and it's
I mean, like, the only time where I'm seeing like realignment not kill rivalries is where it kind of just brought back old rivalries for Texas, where it brought back Texas A&M, and it brought back the Texas Arkansas rivalry.
Yeah, that game was really. I thought that Texas and Arkansas. I think those are I could, like, when I watched that on TV, it looks proper. It looks right.
Oh yeah. Yeah, because I mean, like, especially when you get to tell like the old story of 1969, where you see Richard Nixon going over to Texas, Arkansas in 1969 and declaring the winner to be the best in college football, and they let Joe Pa just get mad at President Nixon at that time. Like, that was wow.
I'm always going to tell you this, Jackson. Your knowledge of this sport never ceases to amaze me.
Oh, thanks, man.
Never ceases.
I'm just, it's just like, I feel like somebody's got to make sure keep up with the history, because it's like, got to keep it alive.
Just write a book.
Oof. I'm thinking about it. That's part of the 10, 15-year plan.
Mark did. Why not? Hey, Mark already did it. You do it.
That'll be a plan, man. That's gonna be something I'm thinking about. So I was like, I'm tempted. So there we go. Like, it's just like, it'll be interesting to see what the next 10 years bring, the next 4 or 5 years bring. But I think we're gonna wait and see what happens with this Alabama Ohio State series. And if it does wind up going off, which I'm hoping it doesn't, but if it does, I'll definitely make sure to kind of break the news on the Alabama channel or on here as well on SEC.
I'm gonna tell you what, if it happens, Jackson, I'm going to have at least a 10-minute rant on how soft the SEC is. And part of me, Jackson, I'm not gonna lie to you, part of me wishes you guys will do it.
Oof.
Part of me wishes it just so it gives me a reason to lambast you guys. But I want to play Alabama.
Yeah.
Because beating Alabama means more to me than getting my rocks off about calling you guys soft.
Yeah.
I want to see Ohio State beat Alabama, and I'm not over 2020. So yeah, I need that win back. And we've only beaten you guys one time. Now, granted, I was alive to see it, and damn, was it a good time for it to happen. But yeah, man, I definitely want this game to happen again. We're talking about the two best football programs from top to bottom in the history of this sport. Alabama 1, Ohio State 2. And so yeah, I definitely want to make sure to see this game happen, man.
For sure, man. It'll be awesome to see it. And for those who don't know about you and the Magic Your Cream, where can the people find you?
You guys can find me on Mondays like today at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on Ohio State Primetime Live Show presented by FanDuel over at Ohio State The Voice of College Football. And also on Tuesdays, you can also check out my guy Cleveland Mike, where he has his show. I believe he's going to start doing it at 8 or 9 o'clock. And then 11 a.m. on Wednesdays, you can check out Mark. And on Thursdays, you can come find me again for the call-in show, which isn't on the Ohio State channel. But listen, man, at the end of the day, this is the voice of college football, which means on Thursdays, you also, on any call-in show on our network, you are the voice also too here. And that is your guys' day because Lord knows I get tired of hearing myself talk. Oh, and you can find me on X at Buckeye_GDG.
There you go. Tell your friends, your family, and the cashiers at Publix and Kroger about the magic that Garrison brings on Ohio State at the Voice College Football. And I'm Buckeye_GDG on X. Give them a follow on there. Let's get them over to 3,000. And you can also.
No, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, there we go. And of course, you can check me out on Jackson Johnson 979, where I'm one episode away from episode 100. And you can also check me out on Alabama at the Voice of College Football. And for more updates, what I've got going on SEC at the Voice of College Football, the Jacksonian, Alabama at the Voice of College Football. Check me on Jets VCP on Twitter and on Instagram page Jets Shots 543-908. And you might see us Wednesday night or definitely sometime later this week. We also want to dedicate this show to a friend of the Voice College Football Network who has been on with Mark before, Wes Rucker, who unfortunately passed away in a car accident. But we just want to make sure we didn't forget to dedicate this show to him, as he was a really knowledgeable guy in Tennessee football and all across the SEC. And all of college football, great guy, off work, of course, great family man, and it's just, he was gone too soon, and pray for his family.
What's up, man? Peace and comfort his way, his family.
There we go. And with that being said, like, comment, subscribe, click on the notification bell so you never miss no video whatsoever, and we'll be seeing y'all soon. Take care, everybody.